I have to ask, man, are you sure about this? I'm not sure if they're ready, you know.
Listen, man, we can't wait any longer. And we're not gonna know if they're ready unless we challenge their minds.
I hear that, bro, but times have changed, you know. People are mad sensitive nowadays. Everything you say offends them.
I know, and we're gonna offend them, but I don't care.
In that case, I guess we gotta do what we have to do.
Peace, family. Peace, and welcome back to The Black Opinion. I don't know what episode we're on right now, you know, Marcus.
Episode...
What? 7?
I think 7.
Seven? When we get to 10, we'll have a celebration.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for all that's joining in. Before we even get started, folks, yeah, can you share? Can you like? Can you subscribe? Can you tell your mum, tell your auntie, tell your cousins, tell your children that we are now on air and we are live. Yo, before we get started, I am Sa Ra Garvey. Then we got Loveless. Then we have another piece of the puzzle that is not here, big bro. But we've got the man behind the camera, the one that makes it all happen. Addoink, say what's up, bro.
What's up, peeps?
And then, as you can probably see someone just faffing about in the background, you look and see someone just like in the background. That is Roxy, okay? That is Troxy, Roxy, Foxy Roxy. We've done a few videos together, and she's going to be chiming in where we ask her some questions. But until then, she's just going to be over there chilling. Do you know what I mean? She's just going to be over there chilling. But Marcus, yo, before we even get started, how was your week, man?
Long as usual. Long as usual. Yeah, the weeks seem like they're getting longer, you know. But
really?
Yeah. They seem like they're getting longer. Just so much happens in 1 week now to digest. Yeah. So yeah. No.
Was it good? Was it bad?
Mondays are normally bad. So from Monday it got better. Put it that way.
Did you see anything this week that made you? Did you see anything this week that made you happy?
My family's faces.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right.
The rest of the news was morbid to me.
Wow. Roxy, did you see anything this week that made you happy?
Yes.
What did you see?
Yes,
Go on.
I did, actually. Recently returned from Turks and Caicos.
Okay, nice.
So saw a dolphin. That made me very happy.
Hang on, was a dolphin in the wild or was it?
In the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, nice. That's what we want. We don't want any like captive dolphins around here.
Oh no, we're not here.
No.
No animal probably over here.
Addoink, did you see anything this week that made you happy, man?
Anything this week that made me happy?
Yeah.
You know what? I watched all of the Avengers. That made my world.
All right,
fantastic filmmaking.
All right, what's the verdict?
I'm officially a fan.
Yeah.
And
hang on, you took a long time to get round to the Avengers, bro.
Like, Roxy was trying to tell me you need to watch this. You told me you need to watch it. Watched it. Beautiful filmmaking. That's art right there. So that made me very, very happy.
All right.
Out of 10?
10 out of 10. Absolutely 10 out of 10. I even got, I know it sounds a little bit moist, I got a little bit emotional when Iron Man died.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Bro, people ain't seen it, so you know.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Marcus, what did you see this week that made you angry?
Buffalo.
We'll be going into that.
Buffalo.
So Buffalo, what happened in Buffalo made you angry?
The incident is obviously shocking, but the lack of reaction from my community, a broad community, you know, like from some African American brothers and sisters, like just the lack of reaction. I would expect every rapper, every R&B act, if you still want to call it R&B, I would have expected everyone to come out to say something about that, because we all talk so much about we got to protect our black women, we got to protect our black women, and if the story is the real deal, then a lot of innocent black women died. And I didn't hear the voices of all these people that keep on saying we got to protect our black women. And it's funny, on one chance we can laugh at somebody's death the following week. And then when we get...
Kevin Samuels you're talking about?
Of course, Mr. Chaos, rest in peace, Ashe. But
as a matter of fact, we'll say that Kevin Samuels was actually laid to rest today. So may he rest in power. Kevin Samuels, you made your impact on this world in the short time that you were here, and we salute you, Kevin Samuels.
Absolutely.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's just the lack of reaction. I mean, I would expect to see just every single rapper, like everyone, it doesn't matter who it is, like every single rapper. I haven't heard nothing from all the people that are in the highlight now, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, I've looked, I haven't seen much. Maybe they have said something on their Twitter or something, but the impact hasn't been enough for me, considering the level of the situation. Like, they're playing video games with black people's lives now.
Literally.
Because it was live streamed.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we're going to get into it, but just as this part of the show, and excuse my language, Mum, because she's now heavily a fan of the show.
Oh yeah, Mum.
But
big up, Mumsy.
Anyone who's dropping this mental illness thing, just don't talk to me about it in person. Don't come up to me and talk to me anything about the guy was mentally ill. I don't want to hear none of it.
All right, fair enough. Roxy, have anything that made you seen anything that made you angry this week?
I have to second Marcus's comments. It's the Buffalo shooting. Complete injustice, just hatred from God knows where. To me, it's learned behaviour. You've been exposed to something, you know, you've taken on a doctrine from somewhere, and you're carrying out this level of evil to gain what? What on earth could motivate someone that much to just recklessly take life?
We'll get into that, as a matter of fact.
And then to live stream it.
Yeah.
And I think platforms need to start taking a lot more responsibility for some of this stuff.
Agreed.
You know, you can't just be live streaming murder like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm about to get
We'll get into it, Rox, don't worry. Addoink, what is it that made you angry this week?
Same thing Marcus said, man. This Buffalo shooting.
Oh, really?
It's just... it's terrible. It's terrible. So that really pissed me off. And like Marcus was saying, like, where is everyone? Where's these voices? Like, you got, I thought this, what's her name? Wanda Sykes. She's a comedian. She says she got traumatized by the slap that Will Smith gave to Chris Rock. And she's traumatized by this. Her voice. So that traumatized you a slap, but elderly black people, 86-year-old, gets shot down and she's chilling. Mate.
All right, so seeing as we're here, guys, let's start. All right. So the shooting happened in Buffalo.
Yep.
So we're going to read some news articles about the just about the shooting and see what they say. Addoink, please bring up the Buffalo shooting slide number 1. Thank you very much. Let's read this now. It states, and this is from NPR.org. Authorities have said they are investigating the mass shooting as a racially motivated hate crime and are also considering a terrorism charge. The names of all those killed have been released. Of the 13 people shot, 11 are black. The suspect purchased his rifle in 2022. In 2022, months a threat against his high school led the New York State Police to order a psychiatric evaluation. The US has seen more than 200 mass shootings this year, including 3 this weekend. Addoink, next slide, please, for the Buffalo. Says the weapon used in Saturday's shooting was purchased this year from a vintage gun store near the suspect's hometown. The owner of the gun shop confirmed to NPR. He said a background check didn't turn anything up. Here's more of what we know so far. The alleged shooter is charged with first-degree murder and faces life in prison. He potentially also could be tried under a new federal anti-lynching law. Addoink, thanks for that. So, it's racially motivated. Thank you for that, Addoink.
Hold on, sorry. I do apologise.
So it's racially motivated, according to the authorities. He purchased the gun.
So that makes it premeditated.
Which makes it premeditated, yeah.
Yep.
The question we're asking today is there a racism problem in the world? So this is a racially motivated thing.
Can I say something, Sarah? Sorry to cut you. I'm quite surprised how they're steering this, because usually they try to paint it off as he's got mental illness, there's something wrong with him in his mind, that type of thing. But for them to say it's racially motivated is saying something.
But Tucker Carlson has been on TV all this week promoting it as mental illness.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you think it's mental illness?
Absolutely not.
Bro, you know when you got mental illness, yeah? You can go, a youth on road is suffering from mental illness due to trauma, maybe single parent home, maybe bad upbringing. Yeah, we can use mental illness so loosely now that anybody who does something premeditated, writes a manifesto, goes on for weeks on end, walks into his school and basically says, I hate black people and I'm thinking of killing a few. And they go, oh, mental health, send him to the office, see the doctor. Yeah? Are you buzzing? We can't use mental health to just tar over everything. So there is a mental health problem in society, and I think definitely after lockdown. Yeah? But if you're going to tell me, somebody who's sitting there thinking about it, is that a good idea, bad idea? Then goes to his peers and they're like, I don't really see a danger, just send him to the doctors. When this thing's happened before in America. This isn't the first shooting against black people in America. And I'll be honest, there's something I want to talk about later on down the show when we get to the meat of it, yeah? I keep on hearing this thing, well, you know, black people can be racist too, and black people can be racist too, and, you know, it's not just blacks it happens to, there's black on white crime, and let me tell you something, yeah? I'm not going to sit on the fence, but I'm not going to jump to one side, whether black people can be racist, whether they can't, yeah? I'm just saying, if we are, we must be the shittest racists on the planet.
We're not very good at it.
We are not good at racism.
Yeah.
Because if this was a football match, yeah, we'd be getting wiped out. It's 5-0. Come off the pitch, bro. Come off the pitch. Yeah?
That's a very interesting analogy. Hang on a minute. Roxy, I see you over there. Do you think the guy had mental illness problems?
See, like Marcus said, you can easily fling the mental health blanket over anything that seems a little bit left of centre in society. If somebody does something that you don't like, that seems a bit off, you could say, oh, maybe they're going through something. Maybe they've got some issues there that need some support. This is somebody that has planned an attack. He's compass mentis. He's fully aware of what he's doing, and he's, whether or not he's expecting some sort of gratification or glorification for it, he's planned it, decided that's what he's going to do that day. So to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with his mind. It's obviously programmed negatively, but I don't think it's to the point where he gets to claim diminished responsibility or something like that.
Rox, let me ask you something.
Go.
You know, don't you find it a bit troubling? Who was the guy? Trayvon Martin. Who's the
George
guy?
Zimmerman.
George Zimmerman, yeah. Every time these guys do something, yeah, I've noticed that people funding certain black groups get their what's it called? GoFundMe shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, your group is anti this and anti that, so they shut down their GoFundMe. Yeah. This guy here and George Zimmerman had over 1 million the day after the crime was made.
Right.
Yeah. 1 million. All those people. Bro, we couldn't get 1 million if we did 100 shows. Well, we most probably could. But what I'm saying is,
that's up to you to
that's
donate.
up to you guys, yeah? But that's what I mean. Like, when we say mental illness, and then you've got people donating, we're donating to mental illness now.
Yeah.
And to get his lawyer to get him out of jail.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, who are all these people donating? That's why I say when it comes to racism, black people must be really bad at it. Because any black boy we know that committed a crime in our community, even if, you know, we do the no snitching rule, no one ain't putting up the bag to get him out of jail when we know he done the crime.
Yeah.
We don't do that. So I'm just saying it. What is this thing? It's not just a boy, is it? There's something within certain groups that they make sure their racists get off, no matter the heinousy of the crime.
Interesting. Let's put a video. Let's see the video with the crowd marching.
Sure. Just let this caller know. I know where he's there.
What's her name?
It's Jessie.
Jessie? Oh, Jessie. All right, so let's speak to Jessie and then we'll get to
Jessie?
Yeah, let's speak to Jessie. Let's speak to Jessie.
Cool.
Hello.
Jessie, how you doing, bro?
Hello. I was the guy on Twitter that was just finding out, you know, just sorting things out to see if I'm allowed on, if I didn't want to show my face, or if I can or can't. So I just say, you know what, you have your own rules, you have your own platforms, and I abide by them. Greetings, Sa Ra Garvey, greeting Marcus Loveless, and greetings to the black woman at the back. I don't know your name, my apologies.
Roxy, that's Foxy Roxy, man.
Roxy.
Hi, Jessie.
Hi, Jessie. Salute.
So the question is, and by the way, Sa Ra Garvey, you had a massive, you have a massive impact on my life even now until when I was even young, because I used to watch you at, on Family Affairs when you were an actor. Yep, Stephen.
When I was acting.
When I was 10 years old, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So
True
yeah.
fan.
That's crazy. But thank you, bro.
So and I've also seen you at Speaker's Corner as well, but I don't go there anymore. But anyway, getting on topic. What is the question really? Like, is there a racism problem? That's what I gather.
Yeah. Is there a racism problem?
If
Globally.
I would say in the world, yes, 100%. I feel there's still a racism problem. In this country, I don't think there is, but there is still problems to do with racism here. But globally, I still think there is a problem. Right?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there is a racism problem? Where does it stem from?
I think it stems from, first, ignorance. Certain stereotypes that's perpetuated by us, from us or by us, you know, from the media, and basically, you know, how history, the history of how black people were basically treated in history, you know, with the colonization and so on and so forth, right? I think there's a racism problem. You know, I only could really think, in my opinion, there's only a few handful of countries where I could say, hey, look, like for example, I had a friend of mine who wanted to go traveling, right? And I basically explained to him, look, there's certain countries that I don't feel comfortable going to, but as he's a white friend of mine, he feels completely comfortable. But I need to explain to him, look, I'm a black guy, right? And there's certain places I can't go because of how certain countries treat people of my skin color, right? I also feel as if, you know, if you look at other continents, how black people are depicted, you know, just look at like sometimes the Middle East, you know, big area there, some parts of Asia as well, like China, various places like that. Like we are depicted in a bad way. Even some religions. Well, one particular religion, which I'm not going to say, but you know, you've got to look and you got to look at it and you think, yeah, there is still a problem. Like some of us, like this is why I say, right, what happened in America at Buffalo, I actually saw the recording and it generally saddened me and I was caught off guard. I didn't really want to see it, but because someone sent it to me on WhatsApp and obviously there's no description or no title, I just watched it. And what really saddened me was when a black woman that, you know, elderly black woman just going about her day, you know, getting shot down and she's just grasping for breath and she gets shot again. Like that type of stuff really bothered, like it really, really bothered me. And this is why, in a way, I'm kind of grateful that I live in Great Britain. I live here because we don't have to deal with things like that. But I understand that, yeah, there is some racism in this country, right? But I don't think it's as bad as other parts of the world. That's why I say there's still a problem with racism in this world.
What we're gonna do later on, actually, because the show's kind of structured, we're actually gonna get into what racism is like outside of the Western world, and whether the racism within the Western world is the same as the racism that is actually outside of the Western world towards black people. So, listen, Jesse, man, thank you for calling in, bro. Like, you just kind of you took me aback with that whole going back to the whole family affairs thing and acting and blah blah blah. But yeah, thank you very much for calling in, brother. We're gonna get some more people in, and we're gonna continue on with the show.
Even call in later, Jess.
Some final words before I go.
Yeah. Give me your final thoughts.
Yeah, I appreciate this platform. I was reluctant to show my face, but I say sod it. Like this is very important to me. And I also want to make I also do have my own platform as well, which helps like people who come from fatherless homes and like solutions and videos in terms of what they can do. And this isn't just for black people, it's for people everywhere. Because I think this is another problem with racism is that because we don't have fathers, a lot of fathers, especially in the black community, but there's also other communities as well. We don't have fathers around and we don't know how to navigate and deal with racism properly. You know, and that's why I say, look, I created this platform, you know, just to say, and I'm a guy who's fatherless myself. Like my father passed away when I was 20, and I had to learn. I literally had to learn to be a man myself, you see. So that's what I say. And my life is wonderful now. Like I love life now. Like I don't see any problems in my life. But I'm gone now. I finished talking.
Thank you very much, Jesse.
Jesse, before you go, plug your channel.
My channel is called OGM Fatherless. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter as well, and I'm on YouTube. It's just basically videos about what men can do, and some females as well. It's not just for boys and you know male and females, but it's for both genders, and to see what they can do to basically alleviate the effects of not having a father in the home. You know,
fantastic, man.
Yeah, I have experience in that field as well because I was a youth worker as well, so I know what it's like. But I don't want to babble on it. I want other people to talk as well.
Yeah, then we got a couple other callers. Thank you, Jesse, man.
Thank you, Jesse. Salute to you, bro.
Adonk, before we even get to the other callers and before we even continue the show, we're going to start reading out super chats because there's a lot of people commenting within the live chat, but we're only going to start reading out super chats. I'll tell you why. This show, whether you guys know or not, takes a lot of work to get done. We're looking for a new camera now. We're looking for better mics. We're looking for better lights. Okay. If you guys really appreciate the show and you guys really like what you're seeing, by all means, donate. So if you guys are commenting within the live chat, we're going to read out the super chats. If you want your comment read out, feel free. You can donate 99 pence. We don't care, whatever it is. But we're only going to be reading out. The only comments we're going to be reading out now are super chats. So I saw a couple super chats of Doink. I really did. From our regular super chatter, Mr. Ultra.
I'll show that right now.
Ultra says, big up the excellence, Sa Ra, ML, and Addoink. And then big up yourself, Ultra, with the £2 super chat.
Yeah.
And again, he donated again. He said, like, share, and subscribe.
Big up, Ultra.
And I agree. Ultra, big up yourself, man. We got 2 more callers, but what I want to do before we get to the people there, Addoink, is I just want to play the video of the march, just of the Buffalo thing, so people can kind of get a little bit more well-rounded on it. Yeah, so play that one, please, Addoink.
Today, the anguish of this city is clear to see. Activists walking the streets of the neighborhood, expressing their pain. There was also defiance and a declaration that this act of madness will not destroy Buffalo.
This is where justice lives, and this is where racism ends. And pick the wrong city.
The 18-year-old suspect, Peyton Gendron, had driven more than 200 miles to launch the atrocity, deliberately targeting a neighborhood that he knew to be predominantly African American. He has already appeared in court, subdued, wearing a mask, and in jail-issued paper clothing. He pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder.
Possible active shooter at the top. There are still shots being fired.
The attack was aimed at this supermarket, police reacting within moments.
3 down inside so far, 2 outside, radio.
The gunman shooting victims both outside the front doors and then stalking the aisles for additional victims.
We're going to need some officers inside the top because we have numerous bodies.
Police have described it as a scene out of a horror movie.
He was very heavily armed. He had tactical gear. He had a tactical helmet on. He had a camera that he was live streaming what he was doing. Walked into the store and began engaging customers.
The president has also today expressed his horror at the events in Buffalo.
We must all work together to address the hate that remains a stain on the soul of America. The hearts are heavy once again, but a resolve must never ever waver.
Gendron's motives are known because he listed them in extraordinary detail in a hate-filled manifesto. He also live-streamed the attack on Twitch, a video-sharing platform. It's left behind not just shock, but a sense of fear.
It's just too much. I just can't. I'm trying to bear with it. It's just too much. You can't even go to the damn store in peace. It's so crazy.
Jeez, that was a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in. So, first of all, we're asking, is there a racism problem? And people, like racism, I feel like racism doesn't limit itself to America or Europe, the Middle East. Racism, I think, is a global problem.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why, on the Black Opinion, we don't necessarily always talk about racism, but when it does rear its ugly head, I think it's time to talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that boy, I say boy, is he a man?
Devil.
All right, devil.
Demon.
He drove 200 miles. 200 miles to go
You're
and
not
do
much
this.
of a boy when you drive 200 miles.
Yeah, he drove 200 miles to do this.
Even more premeditated.
Yeah.
I can't help but to think this. I think law enforcement are working with these guys, man.
Really?
How is it you're taking him in unharmed? Tamir Rice is playing with a toy gun. Police show up, shoot him as soon as they jump out the car. This guy shoots unarmed black people and police take him in unharmed.
Hang on a minute. Roxy, do you think, it's what Addoink just said, do you think law enforcement are working with Is that? Do you think that's a bit outlandish? Law enforcement are working with these people. Hang on, let Roxy say something. Go on.
It's just the injustice of it for me. You know, like maybe they're not necessarily. He didn't necessarily pen the manifesto with a Fed by his side, but it's the fact that he's turned up, he's committed this crime, and what they've just gone in there, hands behind his back, into the car, off for questioning. If that was a black guy, there would be no questions. He would have been laid out.
But would he? Would he?
Yeah. We've seen evidences of it in other cases. Innocent black people sitting in their car. What was it? Was it 59 shots?
No, it's more. It was 136.
136 shots into a car, where a black man was just in the car.
It was two. Black man and a black woman.
And a black woman.
What story? What happened?
It's on Netflix.
So
you think, that honestly, you think that law enforcement, are, let's say, biased towards shooting black people than they are white people?
Yes, because you got to look at the evidence. You got Dylan Roof. He did the same thing.
We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Okay, cool. But these guys that do these types of acts, they always follow a pattern. They get taken in. They get given McDonald's or Burger King or whatever it is. They don't get harmed. You know this person is a threat to society, but you take him in unharmed. A black man walks down the street with his headphones in, just crossing the road and gets shot however many times for crossing the street. Tamir Rice is playing with a toy gun. He gets shot. A little youth just for playing with a toy gun. So the police know who's a threat and who's not. But when you come up to someone like this, for some reason, he goes in unharmed. Not having it.
I have a theory that historical reference with a family narrative to it leads to a subconscious understanding to the criminal or victim, depending on what side you sit on. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, I'm not going to say Addoink is wrong, but what I'm going to say is that sometimes you walk in there and you go, those police officers walk in there and go, my son might have made a stupid mistake like this. And that's all he sees it as.
Right.
My son could have made a stupid mistake like this. Let me check out everything first, see what he's about, because he looks like my little nephew, Danny.
Absolutely.
He looks like Tommy. Yeah, he looks like my brother's son. Yeah. And when it's us, you don't relate when you see a 6-foot black man with a gun. You don't even care about what the situation is, whether he's a person who's trying to save people in there from a shooter. They will just take him out. And I wouldn't say every time, but I'll put my money on it.
All right, so you see what I don't want to do, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to get into facts.
Yep.
Yeah? So, Addoink, if you play the video of myself and Tommy Robinson, we'll get into some facts and let's see some stuff.
Specifically.
Yep.
In 2006, the FBI done a 9-page report. If you want to look at it, if anyone else wants to look at it,
I've
it's on documentcloud.org.
About white supremacists.
They have investigated that there are white supremacist neo-Nazi gangs infiltrating the police forces of America. Okay, that's the FBI. But if we go back, black people have known that there have been white supremacists within the police force of America for a long time. If we go back to 1988, right? NWA, which is a rap group, made a song called Fuck the Police. Why did they make that? They were speaking about the police brutality within their song. If we go to 1991, we find the LAPD and the CCTV, the video footage that surfaced of them beating Rodney King to within an inch of his life. Okay, if we go to 1992, Ice-T made a song called Cop Killer. Okay, black people for a long time in America have known that there have been racist elements within the police force.
So, the FBI. I've already got a 9-page report on the fact that this is going back to 2009. Going back to that and saying that there are racist elements white neo-Nazi gangs infiltrating the police forces of America. That's the FBI investigating. So when people are saying, oh, you guys are talking some conspiracy stuff, the police ain't, I'm just saying, I don't like to get into the emotional argument. I like to say, listen, the FBI have already investigated it, right? The FBI is saying that there are racist elements in the police force. This is what we know. Now, do we know the percentage of police force that have been infiltrated by neo-Nazi gangs? No, we don't. But we do know that they have investigated it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But this
FBI.
Yeah, the FBI. Yeah. The FBI.
Yeah, no, but I was
I'm
just
asking you, Sarah. Do you trust that?
I'll say this. When you are investigating, you can either say, if it's a conspiracy, if it's like a top-down conspiracy, right? Normally, the top people will investigate the bottom, right? But the bottom people can't investigate the top because the top are too, you know what I mean? They're too,
They run things.
They're hands off.
Yeah.
But the top people, are investigating the bottom people, saying, hang on a minute, something's not right here. Like, let's investigate. So I'm not saying the FBI are right or wrong. All I'm saying is the FBI have investigated it and they've been looking at the fact that there are neo-Nazi and white supremacist gangs infiltrating the police forces of America. And you can believe it or not believe it.
But what I'm saying is they've investigated it and then what?
Yeah, but
nothing's changed.
Yeah, but I don't need the FBI. It's a great statistic you brought up, but I don't need the FBI to tell me what I know.
Yeah.
Through living day-to-day life.
Now, sorry to cut you. I was with Big Bro the other day.
Yeah.
Right? And Big Bro done a talk and he was talking about the Brixton riots. Now, Big Bro, big up Big Bro. If you're watching Big Bro, big yourself up, right?
Big up Big Bro.
And he done a talk and he was talking about the racism in the 80s in Great Britain.
Yeah.
Right? That led to the Brixton riots. And he was talking about some of his own stories growing up in the 80s, as a black man. Big Bro's like 6'5", big guy. Do you know what I mean? But Big Bro he's a businessman. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not a criminal. He's not any of that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like him as a black man growing up in the 80s, right? I remember when I'd done the interview with Lee Jasper, Addoink, you filmed it, right? And he was saying that in the 80s, the police in the UK used to flash their NF badges at you, before they arrest you to let you know what time it was. They used to flash their NF badges. So the UK is not devoid of this type of racism. The only thing when it comes to the UK is that they don't have guns and they don't have the ability to kill. Now, this is the thing. I want people to hear me. I am not saying all police are racist. Bernard Hogan Howe in the UK, when he was chief of the Met Police, I think it was in 2012 or 2000 something, right? I forget the year. But he said himself, as the chief of police of the Met Police, if people are saying that the Metropolitan Police are institutionally racist, we have to take that on the chin. Now, that's what the chief of police said at that time. That was surrounding the whole Stephen Lawrence case.
Yeah.
Right? And so the UK is not exempt from racist police because the chief of police will tell you, we got to take that on the chin. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, the question we're asking today is there a racism problem? Roxy, talk to me. I'll get to you, Mark. Roxy, say something. Is there a racism problem?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody who says there isn't is living under a rock, deluded, choosing deliberately not to see it. You know, there is definitely a problem. It's institutionalized very well here in the UK. We see it, microaggressions, certain behaviors, opportunities being limited. You know, it's covert over here, like you illuminated. We don't have the same sort of gun law issues as the US. So you don't expect a black man to be just randomly shot down. But the challenges that we face here I can fairly say they're equally significant. You know, because they hinder life, they hinder progress, they cap you. You know, we don't have the same fears as the US, but we have our own challenges. I'm seeing some. I'm just dipping in and out of the page. I'm reading other things about.
We're not reading any comments that aren't super chats.
Right.
We're not reading them anymore. We're putting them on the screen, but we're not reading them.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, people need to start donating. Listen, this thing is not. This thing is it's coming out our pockets right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like doing this show.
Sorry.
So if people ain't donating, we ain't reading out their. We ain't reading out their thing. So before we even get to super chats, we're going to get to somebody who's in the call right now.
He's been waiting for a long time.
Apologies, my brother. Who is calling Addoink?
All right. I'm not going to take a shot at pronouncing his name because I think I'm going to get it wrong. So I'm just going to let you know what his name is. What's your name, sir?
Hey, peace and black power.
Could you turn your volume down in the background, please? Because we can hear it echoing.
I'm going off my phone. Let me see what I can do. How was it?
Bit better.
Yeah, that's better. Your Wi-Fi is a little bit choppy. Oh,
you froze.
You froze, bro.
That's a shame.
Waiting that long and you froze. Hang on. Hang on, he's back.
You good?
Oh, we can't hear you now.
Oh no.
So
I don't know. There's an echo where you are, brother. If you turn your volume up, there's an echo.
But I just
keep it there. That volume there is cool. But your Wi-Fi, you need to move around the house somewhere, mate. All right.
We can't hear you, brother. Like we can't hear you. You're a little bit choppy. Call back in. I'm so sorry, bro. Addoink, do we have anybody else?
We do. Let me get. Can you turn your camera on, fella? You there?
Who's that?
Hello.
Who's that there?
It's the guy that I pronounced his name wrong. Aiden. Is it Aiden?
Yeah, it's Aiden.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Aiden, turn your camera on, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not turning off for some reason, but you know what I look like? I'm white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, we've seen you before.
I'm a beautiful human species.
Go on.
Okay, so you know the question that you've mentioned prior to about is there racism the same across the board around other places in the world? So I'm from one of those places in the world. So I'm fortunate that I come from a multicultural grandparents' houses where they married into other cultures and religions. So I don't necessarily experience racism from my internal family outside towards other people. Like I can be honest, if my granddad is racist, I'll say man, he's a bit tapped, but he's not. But I'm white and I'm an anomaly in my society in Azerbaijan, and they're all Arab, Turkish-looking people. So I experienced racism in the secondary school the minute I started, just shortly before Soviet Union broke up, you see. And then the Russians invaded Azerbaijan again, and there was a friction amongst the Russians, and I looked familiar with Russian people. So my own people in my own country like racially abused me like children in school because I looked like a Russian. Then my mum brought me to England, and I went to South London school, and then I experienced similar racism from everyone because I couldn't speak no English and I wasn't an immigrant, and they weren't. They could speak English, they had a British passport. No shit, boy. This is exactly the kind of... look, I'm too grown now to understand how this functioned. But then again, I had no idea what was going on with me because two different societies, two different secondary schools, exactly the same experience. But two different sets of people from two different social existences around the world. Do you understand me?
Two different continents also.
Yeah, two different continents, social intellectual ability completely different, communism, corruption, and then, mate, it exists everywhere. Not to mention how the Muslims thought of the African man from the beginning on time. Don't forget that, right? That was deep. There's a lot of social friction exists in Arab world right now toward the black African man, and it has existed for a long time. I've read a lot of stuff. So my grandfather was a full-on Muslim man, so I had to acquire that knowledge of Islam and where it come from, and I had to read the geography and the existence of people where they come from. So the cultural existence and people culture, the culture doesn't go away. The racist culture doesn't evaporate from existence of any given society.
So then Aiden, would you say that the world has a racism problem?
They always have done, but now it's more highlighted to us from 19th century onwards. Prior to that, It wasn't. It was due to the ethnicity, the Jews, the Muslims, the Indians, the Africans, the South Americans, the North Americans, the Aboriginals. Remember that. They weren't calling them black people. They were just calling them the native or whatever they are. They didn't highlight it to racism. They narrowed it down to their differentialities in the cultural existence. So due to that it didn't highlight it prior to 19th century. After the World War II, World War I, when the Jews and the Nazis and everything like that, the racial theories came into mainstream society across the board, across the world. Before that,
so the thing is with this, yeah, like I don't want to negate people's experiences, yeah, that aren't black.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to negate people because I'm not saying that people don't. I think everyone can feel prejudice to some degree. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't just think black people feel prejudice. I think, like you said, if you're Azerbaijanian growing up in, I don't know, China, do you get what I'm saying? You're going to feel that same prejudice, right?
Yeah, cool,
so I'm saying, I don't want to negate people's prejudices. So that's why I asked the question, is racism a problem? It's not just towards black people. It's just, is it a problem? It's a problem for us. We know that. But is it a problem in general?
Think about this right now, right? Just think about this, like intellectually. Look how racist we are towards the Russians. If these were any other minority group across the world, like the Afghanis, the Talibans, the anybody else, we will be highlighting that as racial prejudice towards the minorities. But the Russians are a threat. We're allowed to be racist towards them. Do you understand that? Right? There's a board, like you might not agree with it, but the things that they do.
I don't think that's racism. I don't think that's racism. See, I think people need to differentiate between racism, prejudice,
no, but they wouldn't have done exactly the same
xenophobia. Hang on, Aiden. Hang on, Aiden. I think people need to differentiate between these things because I believe that every race of people on this planet have some kind of prejudice towards another people. That's what I personally believe. I believe that everyone has some kind of prejudice towards another people. Now, whether it's to do with their accent, their race, geography, because the French don't like the British.
That's not racism, though.
But they're of the same race.
Yeah, that's not racism.
Do you get what I'm saying? The British don't like the Germans.
Yeah.
But they're the same. They're European, right? So people have we have to start differentiating between racism, prejudice, xenophobia, race prejudice, all of these things. And I think a lot of the time people just clump racism in as one thing.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take you to do that?
Listen, I'm just saying, I'm one man. I'm just trying to highlight the thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I can try it and then I can try and pass it on to whoever's watching. Do you get what I'm saying? But I really do think that we need to start getting a little bit more cerebral in the way we break things down. I think people just get triggered. Do you know what I'm saying? Like triggered by certain things and start like claiming racism. Do you know what I mean?
There's racism in every continent towards every
minority. I agree that.
And that's
Aiden. Yeah. Aiden, there's racism in every continent.
Towards who?
Towards who?
That's what I'm saying.
The minorities. The minorities of the continent.
Okay, Aiden, I'll ask you this. What is your definition of racism?
What's my definition of racism? Disliking someone solely based on their skin color.
Oh, on their skin color, yeah?
Solely based on their skin color.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, Aiden, we're going to go into that. You just segued us into a new thing. Aiden, thank you very much, bro, for tuning in. Call back in if you want to. Yeah, call back in if you want to. Addoink, we're going to read some super chats before we get with the rest of the show. Yeah. Ultra says... Sarah, say G block, please. If burns souls. Ultra, thank you very much. G block.
And
we have Dan Powers.
Yeah, right.
Which is I don't know what currency that is, but it's 50. Thank you very much, Dan Powers. He didn't have anything to read out. And then we have
Review China USA. £2 he donated.
Review China USA. Why do coloured always argue on transport?
I don't know what that means.
First of all, the word coloured is very interesting. But that's a question. I don't know if they...
I don't think his English is very good, but if I roughly get what he's saying...
Why do black people argue on public transport?
Yeah.
Legitimate. I don't take public transport anymore, but I drive everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? But legitimate question, maybe.
I hope he's not talking about in the UK because I don't see that.
Okay. Also, Scott, £20 donation. Thank you very much, my brother. There's no question there, is there? Don't.
No, there isn't.
Listen, thank you everyone who donates. Like I said, this thing is not cheap to run. Okay, so all of this stuff. If you guys want to see a whole new production, if you want to see the production get much better, you want to see multiple cameras. If you guys want to see better lighting, that's up to you. Okay, you guys donating helps us. So, someone said something, Marcus. That racism in the UK or outside the UK is different and worse, and it's on every continent. That's what Aiden said. It's on every continent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Addoink, please play the slavery video, please.
Some of the least racist parts of this planet is Western Europe and North America.
Right.
And most people are like, what the hell are you talking about? Have you seen the police shootings in the United States? Have you seen this and this in the UK? Are these you're saying racism is not a problem in these countries? When did I say there's no racism?
Yeah, you're not saying there's no racism.
I'm not saying it's no racism. I'm saying it's the least racist on the planet because racism is such a big deal in the rest of the planet. In fact, the reason why people think the United States is extremely racist or white people in the UK are extremely racist is because they're more aware of racism being a problem, so it gets a lot more attention when it happens and gets a little more reported on. Racism in Japan, racism in China, racism in Iran, racism in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, in India.
Libya, they just found a slave. They found in 2017. They found a slave auction to auctioning black people.
Nowhere can you buy a black person in this world except for the Arab Muslim world. You can't buy no black people no more. Black people are on auction block in Europe, but they're on auction blocks in the Muslim Arab world though.
We're ushered into one of two auctions happening on this same night. Crouched at the back of the yard, a floodlight obscuring much of the scene. One by one, men are pushed out as the bidding begins. 400, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700. Very quickly, it's over.
And they kept bringing out what they kept referring to in Arabic as al-bada, the merchandise. All in all, they admitted to us that there were 12 Nigerians that were sold in front of us. And
They sell Africans over there. In Libya, they sell men. Even 15-year-old Libyans are there in a car, they're armed. They'll come and kidnap you, and they'll sell you for $70 to $150. And then others will resell you.
People are suffering. People are dying.
A man addressing an unseen crowd. Big strong boys for farm work, he says. 400. 700. 700. 800. The numbers roll in. These men are sold for 1,200 Libyan pounds, $400 apiece.
ما انتش ملكه؟
لا ملك.
ها؟
لا ملك.
أنت ملك سيدك؟ تشعر أنت نفسك؟
كنت تشعر أني مجبور على أنك تشعر. مجبور على أنك تشعر.
يعني أنك ملك مثل الغنم مثل أي حاجة صح؟
مجبور على أنك تشعر بهذا الشعور.
ومن أكثر واحد قسوة عليكم منهم؟
أكثر واحد
قاسي. كم عمره ذا؟
عمره 19 20.
من معه؟
مع أختي.
أختك هي عمرها 16 سنة صح؟ وهو عمره 19 سنة. هل ممكن مثلا اليوم يتحرش بها يعني زي هكذا أشياء؟
ما أدري.
ها؟
ما أدري.
Yo, racism outside of the Western world, black people can still be enslaved.
Look, yeah, you got, and this is the problem, yeah. Every time we show something like that, somebody's gonna pop up and go, "Whoa, do you know the girls in Russia are being sex trafficked? And you know the potato wars in Ireland? And it's not just you. It's not just you. It's not just." And what I'm trying to say is, yeah, for the people that have the most resources on the planet, for the people that come from biblically and Islamically certain parts of it that were called paradise, yeah. For us to even be like still dealing with slavery now, there's something wrong with us. And I'll be real, like I'm not even about to like no light jabs, straight hooks. Like there's something wrong with us, and I'm sure we went through a lot of trauma and everything else. But when I see, it doesn't matter if it's a Somali brother, it doesn't matter if it's Eastern African, Central African, Western African, South. It doesn't matter which one. When I see my own people sitting there in the modern times talking that they was a slave to another human being based off the skin complexion.
Yeah.
I can slightly more agree with people saying that this country doesn't have the same level of racism problem.
It really don't.
Yeah, because I wouldn't advise anybody think you could do that with black people in Britain.
Right.
I wouldn't advise it. Yeah. But at the same time, it shows me that other people that we're living here with, which I think is a little dark secret, have family members back in their home countries. While they smile and laugh with you day to day,
Yeah.
they have family members back in their own country that would treat people that look like me and you
Right.
like that.
Your quote unquote Akis and that.
And this is
your Akis, bruv.
And this
their uncle's got a slave in Saudi or Yemen or blah blah blah, Pakistan or something.
And we don't think of it like that. We don't think that your family members back home don't view us the same way you might view us. Yeah. And there's another problem I got. Like I've seen it in lots of comment sections. Like, oh, this is a plan to turn white against black, black against white, brown against black. Let me tell you something. Yeah. If you don't participate, racism can't happen upon black people. So don't tell me about there's this super mega Marxism plan to keep us all divided, because if you don't participate in hating black people, it can't happen, fam. Don't tell me you were MK Ultra'd into this thing. Yeah, you do it in numbers, you do it in family units, and you enslave black people. And I'm not blaming all white people for it, but what I find very frustrating is that these videos are here, and the most we will do, just as I've seen in Buffalo, you know I'm not a person that agrees with the marching thing, but that's what we do, innit? We get out on the streets with people that don't look like us, and we say more justice, more peace, and all of this, no justice, no peace, sorry. And to me, bro, I've said it to you before in private conversation. How many people do we see marching? Like when we see them all marching? Thousands, maybe?
Yeah, more.
Yeah,
thousands.
So how many of you are nurses?
It's loads.
How many of you are firemen?
Loads.
How many of you are doctors?
Many.
Okay. Bankers? Work in banking? Yeah?
All types.
So how comes the best you can do with all of these intellectual minds is walk down the street?
Yeah.
Because when you go to work, they organize you.
Yeah.
They get you all efficiently working well, like a good little ant farm. Yeah. But when it comes to
do you know what you just made me think? Do black people actually care about racism?
No, but Marcus, before I know Sarah just interrupted you, but just finish what you were saying, because I am actually on the same line with you about the marching thing.
You back the marching thing?
No, I
No, because marching is, look, at the end of the day, yeah. What's the thing that they say about insanity?
If you
walking around in a circle expecting a different
No. If you repeat the same behavior, expecting a different result, that is a definition of insanity.
Right. We've been doing this since the 40s, 30s, maybe. Even if we go back, marching. We shall overcome. We shall Bruh, like a lot of you got professions, crafts, skills. If you want to organize, then get yourself a hall. Let's be mature. Let's be like adults, and let's organize. Yeah. Let's target what we're boycotting. Let's target what we're not going to buy into anymore. But all of this walking with other groups, and I'm happy for the other groups that sympathize with us. I'm happy for them to walk alongside with us. Yeah. But I would prefer what I mentioned earlier. You know how you lot can put your money together for the Dylan roofs?
Yeah.
I would prefer, if you really care about black people struggle in some form of way, yeah, why don't you donate?
No. I'm saying this. The reason why I'm saying this, look, if there's racism, when there's racism, if we are at the bottom of the social economic ladder, like I keep speaking about, the only people that we can rely on to get us out of the condition that we are in is ourselves. I don't look to China. I don't look to Arabia. I don't look to Europe. I don't look to anywhere. No one has an obligation. No one has an obligation to get us out of the position that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
But us.
Okay, then don't walk with us then.
You shouldn't be there.
Then don't walk with us.
No, they can walk.
No,
but I'm saying but hang on.
Yeah.
I'm saying on when it comes to black people, black people should not expect other people. Because you know why, yeah?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you know why? When the gay people found themselves oppressed and marginalized, they banded with gay people. When women found themselves oppressed and marginalized, they banded with women. When Jewish people found themselves oppressed and marginalized, they banded with Jews. When black people find themselves oppressed and marginalized, who else you looking to, fam?
Yeah, but this is...
Who else is that? Who is supposed to take you out of the condition that you're in?
Roxy?
The thing that kind of jars me about this part of the conversation is, like, we know it all starts within ourselves. It starts within our community. We need to unify. We need to come together. We need to respect each other, love each other. We all know that. It comes up every time and we nod our heads and do nothing.
Yeah.
No, they do nothing. We do something. And that's why we created our clan. And I keep saying that. Like, people think it's a joke, and I keep having to harp on about this, right? The reason why I say they and our clan, is because we know what we have to do. Some people don't know what they have to do. And some people, but a lot of people say they're going to do something and don't do something.
But
hang on. We cannot control anything outside of the people that we have within our vicinity. Yeah. You guys out there, as much as I love you, I can't control you.
Yeah.
As much as we love you, we can't control you. Who we can control is these people in this room right now. We can have our conversation. So when it comes time, when you guys are doing your thing, I understand the Sa Ra Garvey, Marcus Loveless, Addoink, Roxy at the back. We are speaking to you out there, but we can't control you. But what I can control and what we can control are the people in this room.
Yeah.
And we have the opportunity to control the people. And this is why I talk about people need to start forming their clans, because you need to start understanding that the people within your vicinity are the ones you can control. I can't control you lot out there. Much as I wouldn't love to, because I'm not a control freak like that. But as much as I would like people to be quote unquote smarter, I can't control you. Do you get what I'm saying? I can control this.
I hear that.
Do you know what I'm saying? I can't control them out there. I can control this. Sorry, Roxy, you were speaking. Sorry.
No, it's just, what action are we going to take as individuals going forward to push that agenda, to push the building of the community, these clans? What are these conversations going to do to better our community going forward?
So this is what Marcus knows, because we're yet to do a clan episode anyway.
Yeah.
Right? It's coming. But you see, when you see our clan moving right, you see when people start seeing our clan moving right, people are going to start getting, they're going to start thinking, you see, I like the way those guys move. I like okay, cool. And if you come to me, I'm going to say, okay, who's your clan? What's your clan moving like? Because I need to see you don't just come here and say, yeah, I want to be no. Do you have a clan, first of all? And if you do, I need to see what they're moving like. And then once clans start forming with other clans, then you become what, Marcus? Nations.
course.
Then you start becoming extended clan.
Extended clans,
and then you become kingdoms. And then but the thing is, you realize that you've become that because you have vetted each clan, and each clan has come into the other clan, understanding that the other clan are certified. The problem is, there are people out there now that aren't certified, that their mind is messed up, everything's messed up about them. They're saying, yeah, that's my people's. That ain't my people's.
Breed tribalism amongst ourselves, because we have that already.
That's what I'm saying. Roxy, please, go on.
Yeah, go on, Rox, go on. Because
that was my question.
Oh, okay.
We sort of have that, like we have
sections.
For example,
okay, so
in America, there's a particular type of black that is like foundational black American, and then we've got in Africa, this.
But what if they're moving right, Roxy? What if the foundational black Americans are moving correct, and we have our clan and we're moving correct? Don't we just unify? Hang on, hang on. Marcus is the clan man. Go on, Marcus.
Let me just interject. Yeah, like Roxy is 100% right. Yeah, and maybe she does understand how right she is, and maybe she don't. But one thing that was the most intelligent question I've heard on this show, is like, aren't we just going to fall back into tribalism? Now I hear this massive talk about tribalism, groupthink, and all of this. But let me tell you something. The people that run this world are in tribes.
Right.
Give me some examples.
Whether you call the people that own Argos, McDonald's, Tesco's, Macy's, they when they sit down at the end of the month, they sit down with a couple people around the table, and they're all family. Be them, Ga, Fanti, Shanti, Igbo, Yoruba, forget the names, they just call themselves one group, and they might not even use what we use as traditional names anymore. They might just say, the Red Enterprise, and we're all a part of the Red Enterprise, and anybody who doesn't know about the Red Enterprise's moves, doesn't understand the Red Enterprise's laws, we couldn't even dream of what could happen to you. If you decide to snitch, if you decide to let out this, look, we've seen what they did to what's his name, the guy that they're trying to extradite to America.
The white guy.
The white guy.
Oh, okay.
Why have I forgotten that? WikiLeaks. Yeah. That's holed up in. Why have I forgotten his name? He's in the Colombian embassy.
No, he's in jail now.
No, he was in the Colombian embassy. What's
They've
his name?
taken him out now. Now he's in
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange, right?
Assange.
Julian Assange, yeah.
Julian Assange. Yes,
Julian
yes,
Assange.
Sorry.
Julian Assange decided to step on certain tribes' feet, and a lot of people be like, "Oh no, I don't want to be tribal. Don't want to be tribal." So what have you got if you haven't got tribal? You've got individualism.
Yeah.
How's that working out for us?
Yeah. For real.
Because you know
legitimate question.
No, because you know what individualism is. It's violent. Where it's competition. Well, we've got capitalism over here.
Right.
But Marcus, shall I tell you something? Sorry.
And Edward Snowden. And Edward Snowden as well. Snowden is the same.
Another one. Go on, talk big and act like this tribal thing is some sloppy thing. Talked about the wrong tribe again. And you'd be like, oh no, he talked about America. Yeah, but there are groups within America that we wouldn't call tribes, but I would still deem them as tribes, who said, one step too far, so you're going to snitch. You're going to have to come out of America. Like, because you're under the jail. And this is what I'm saying. People think that life... do you think things have changed since kingdoms?
No, that's the thing that people keep thinking. People keep thinking that things have changed since the Roman Empire, since the Greeks, it's not changed.
It's just remarketed, bro. Now it's McDonald's. Now it's...
Thank you.
Now it's...
Thank
Sorry,
you.
King, go on.
No, go on.
Yeah, so just like... Say this, like, I got a question for Roxy, it seems off, right? But to get your clan just off the basic, Roxy, what would you say, not just black women, but what would you say women want from men?
Oh, goodness.
Give us at least 2 things that you find important. Or 3 if you like.
I'd say protection.
That's the bingo number 1, right?
I'd say I don't know anyone else is going to take this, but personally, I'd say leadership.
Yep.
If you're asking for two things, I'd say those are
The two.
Yeah,
And
those are the two important ones to
and
me.
do you know what the craziest thing is? You went straight into Ma'at and you went straight back to nature.
You have to understand. Yeah, you have to let Rox know what Ma'at is, because Ma'at, she may not know.
Ma'at is like balance, nature,
justice.
Like it's the way the order of things work within nature. Like, so we will have exactly what you said is exactly the same thing a lioness is looking for.
Right.
Even though you've got iPhone technology,
And Ma'at is a goddess, and is a goddess, by the way.
And it's a goddess, yeah. But it's a system that she runs or brought to this plane of reality, yeah. And I'm trying to say that the same things you said is the same things that most animals in nature want. You want to be protected, right? You want to be able to have children and have somebody there that knows that if that door starts banging, he's going to run to the door, right? And I'm saying you can't get that with what we're dealing with now. Because when we let go of clan and we say we don't need to look after each other, because you're you with your man over there, I'm me with my girl over here. Yeah.
What if your man starts beating on you? Who you going to?
Right, but you ain't.
If you ain't going to your clan, who you going to? You're by yourself.
Right.
And do you really want to be like, oh, I'm going to call my brother? So now you're going to run your brother into a situation where many men's heads have not sat down and thought how to resolve your situation, rather than your brother just runs in there emotionally. That's my sister. I'm prepared to kill, right? That would be the argument. Now your brother goes to jail, and we have a situation with our clan. We don't have thought, group, and it's ironic in this world that they use groupthink as a bad thing. But everybody,
it can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
If people start,
if a group of people start thinking, let's kill Addoink,
okay.
Let's kill Sarah, yeah, it's a bad thing.
Okay, group thing, think tank.
Yeah, same thing.
Yep,
same thing.
But think tanks change the world.
Yeah,
and group thought. What's the difference?
Listen, folks. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Okay, donate also. Okay. Donate, subscribe, share. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going deep this show. Someone actually said in the comments that you're heavily shadow banned, Sarah, because I had to like, really type this in. I already know this, because the truth is always banned. Okay, the man that has the least friends is a man that tells the truth. Understand that? We are going to go into a caller, yeah.
Yes, please.
No problem. Then we'll get back to the show. What's
Flourish?
Flourish.
Please excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, brother, but we've had him on the show before.
How you doing, my bro?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother.
How's everyone?
We're good. We're good.
What you doing, man? It's powerful. We need more conversations like this within the Black community. So
I agree with you.
I was going to say what we need most, in my opinion, is selfless leaders. Like, even in the past, whenever you have selfish leaders, it never goes right. And that's the problem we even have in Nigeria till date, in the Black community in Nigeria, because every little person wants to help their family, they want to help their immediate tribe, but they're not looking at the bigger country. And even back in the day, you had people like, there was a Yoruba man named Kosoko who owned thousands of slaves. And even the British told him, yo, you need to end slavery, you need to stop slavery. But he was like, no, he has power from it. So why is he going to stop it? That the British had to depose him and send him in exile before he could relinquish his authority and his power over his black slaves. So when you have selfish leaders who are only thinking about their power, who are only thinking about their wealth, who are only thinking about themselves, in any system, it doesn't work out for majority of the people. And I think that's the problem Black people are having globally, whether it's in the US, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Nigeria or other parts of Africa. Our leaders are not selfless. You look at what's happening with the Black Lives Matter thing, they raised like $90 million, and then this woman went to go and buy houses for herself. That's not the purpose of the movement. You could create
multi-million-dollar houses.
You can create communities with that. You can build hospitals with that. You can do a lot of things with that, but she's only thinking of herself. And mind you, there's no offense to that, nothing wrong, but she talks about all this white privilege. She's married to a white Donny. She's married to a white
Who's that? Sorry, who did you say?
She's
Black Lives
talking
Matter.
about white
Black
privilege,
lives, head of
white
Black
privilege
Lives Matter.
prevents black people
No,
from
she's a lesbian.
It's a white man, you know. So it's or dating a white man, you know, because they don't like to
No,
get
she's a
married.
lesbian. She's a lesbian. She's a lesbian. The Patrice Cullors is a lesbian.
So what's it?
The head of Black Lives Matter. She's a lesbian.
You know, I apologize for that. Then
But she does have a child, but she is a lesbian. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. But she had a
Was
child
it
with
child
white
mixed race?
There's nothing wrong with it.
I believe so. I don't believe so.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that she talks about all this white privilege and whatever, but she's benefiting from the.
Listen, the bottom line is she's talking about white privilege, Black Lives Matter, and she moved herself into a multi-million-dollar house in a white neighborhood.
Exactly. Instead of taking care of the people, you know. So I mean, selfless leaders. That's what we need. The second thing I was gonna say, we need a common ideology. You know, in the past, this worked with religion. I believe in Christianity. I believe in God. But if we don't have religion, because black people are fragmented all around the globe. You got people who believe in like Hebrew Israelism. You got people who believe in Islam, you know, Christianity, just different religions. But we need a common framework. If that
My brother, let me tell you something. Yeah? Let me just tell you something. This is my own personal view now, right? If black people, I want to get Roxy's view on this. If black people are going to move forward, don't you think they should be moving forward without their belief systems? And like you said, they have to have a common goal. Commonly, black people ain't all Muslim. Commonly, black people ain't all Christian. Commonly, black people are black. That's what's common amongst us, right? We're black. So if we don't have an ideology that thinks about the commonality first, why are we even speaking? Roxy?
Can I say something, Sarah?
No, wait, well, you will, but let me just, I want to hear a woman's point of view. Hang on.
You deliberately trying to attack me.
I'm not trying to attack you, Rox. I'm not trying to attack you.
I see what you're doing.
I'm just saying, if we're talking about commonality, we have to work with what we have in common. We are in common, we are not all Muslim. In common, we are not all Christian. In common, we are not all, but we are all what? The same. So shouldn't we have that in common more so than your Christianity?
You know,
Roxy. Sorry, hang on. One second, brother. Go on, Roxy.
Anyway, of course, we all have our blackness in common. My faith doesn't negate my blackness.
To a degree,
it doesn't.
Hang on, wait. Let Roxy speak. Let Roxy speak.
Black, it doesn't stop me from having a black experience. If anything, faith is supposed to bring you together. It's supposed to promote love. It's supposed to promote progress in all areas of life. So if that's what the basis of the village movement is, the clan, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Go on, my brother. What are you going to say?
Yeah, Flourish.
What I was going to say is we've seen from history, unfortunately, and what you're saying, Sarah, is true. We should be united in our blackness and all of that. But we've seen from history, blackness doesn't bring people together. Whiteness doesn't bring people together. Ideology brings people together. Malcolm X understood this. And that's why Malcolm X, even though some of the stuff they preach in the Nation of Islam in the US is a bit bonkers, he knew the power of religion. He knew the power of ideology to bring people together beyond color. Because color is very surface level. You know, color is very.
Do you know what? No, hang on. But hang on. But do you know why I'd push back against that? Because whiteness is an ideology.
No.
And hang on, wait. I don't.
Sorry.
Whiteness is an ideology because before, if you go back to America and Europe, you had elite whites, people that were white that had the money, the ones that had the slave ships, the ones that were running things. Then you had the poor whites, yeah?
And Italians weren't deemed as white.
No. The elite whites didn't give a damn about the poor whites. But as soon as slavery came around, it was, oh, we're white and they're black. So the elite whites could tell the poor whites, you know what, you're better than those black people. Just like, yeah, we're better than them too. And then the poor whites, because remember, on the slave plantations, it was the poor whites that were running those plantations, right? The ones that are running around on the horses, the ones that were whipping, those are the poor whites. The rich whites are the ones that own the plantations and got all the money. But because of the quote unquote whiteness, right, they felt like they were affiliated with the quote unquote ideology of whiteness. So when you say that ideology, that whiteness ideology went quite far.
Yeah, but
they actually went quite far.
But there is a counteraction to that.
Go on.
And that's the thing. And it's because my people are a bit lazy. We don't make a counteraction to that. My brother, you say you're Christian, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, all you need to do for me and you to get along and to acknowledge ourselves as brothers on a deeper level is for you need to remove words like pagan, heathen, blasphemer, and all of these words. Because you see when you talk... Say again, King?
I don't use those words. That like.
Yeah, I know you don't, but you need as a Christian to go and promote that to other black Christians. Because you see, when we have our Muslim brothers and sisters or our Christian brothers and sisters, seems like you've got a lot of words, not you personally, but there's a lot of words biblically to call somebody a heathen because he might believe differently. So it shun our African brothers and sisters, isn't it? Because if you didn't believe in the Bible, you was a pagan, you was a heathen, and then punishments come with these words, and accusations of burning in hell after you die. Yeah. So in the Muslim faith we have kafir. So those who don't believe are a kafir, right? And you're going to burn in hell. Now this is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to sit at the table with people that you're going to call your clan, you can keep your religion. Yeah. But you need to denounce, you need to edit, your Christianity.
You ain't about to sit at my table with derogatory terms
you
for me.
can't have derogatory terms for
it's
me.
not happening, bro.
Yeah?
So I'm going to tell you to leave.
Imagine, what are you? You're Nigerian, what? You're Igbo or Yoruba?
My brother, Yoruba.
Okay, you're Yoruba guy. Now imagine, say I'm saying I'm Igbo now, and I'm turning around and telling you we got derogatory terms for Yoruba, but I'm saying come and sit at the table, my brother.
But we're going to call you the derogatory name, though. You ain't going to have that. You're a grown man. You're not going to have that. Okay? So this is the thing about clan, and this is what I love. And then we talk about Cerberuses. I love it. So
you have to edit, bro.
Yeah, you have to edit. And the thing is, you lot don't want to edit because I know that you hold dear to your thing. But I'm saying, at our table as clan, no one is coming to our table with derogatory names for us. It's not happening. So the bottom line is you got to decide, because we're cool over here. Yeah. Okay, we're cool over here. You got to decide if you're trying to affiliate yourself with our clan, do not ever think in your life you're coming to my table with a derogatory name to me, because I will tell you to leave.
But and even
that's the bottom line.
And even if you take it to the level, where like Adam and Eve, like I can't be around brothers and sisters that are saying Adam and Eve first people on the planet. Bro, we can't have a proper discussion if you think them things.
Can I say something? I would say that what gives a name its meaning, what gives a name its power, the intention behind the word or the word itself.
You
behind the word that gives the word its
power.
You
give the name its power, bro.
You give the name its power.
You give the name its power by the intention. All right.
So, if no one said your name ever in life, has your name got power?
No, but also, it's why are they saying my name? If people use my name as a curse word, then immediately my name becomes a curse word because of the intention behind it. So what I would say is, what you're saying is 100% true. People shouldn't use words like that. But what's even more important is not the words, it's the intention behind those words. See, if I love you as my brother, I wouldn't want to speak down on you. If I love you as my brother and I want the best for you, and I wouldn't want to speak down on you with any word.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, my brother, but if you're saying, that you got a word like pagan in your faith, and you acknowledge that word, right? And you acknowledge the meaning of that word via your Bible, right? And you don't denounce it to me. You don't denounce the use of that word. We're going to have a problem, innit?
Okay, even if I denounce, all right, let's say I denounce the word pagan. The issue, there are people, my brother, because you live in the UK, you probably have been exposed to witchcraft. So there are people who are evil people who have access to spiritual power, who use it for evil purposes.
My brother, you said witchcraft and then you say evil straight away.
There are people. Okay, all right. If you believe
Yeah,
in,
we listen, bro. Me and you are gonna have problems from the jump, bro. Like I'm letting you know, like we're gonna have problems.
So you think
But the thing is,
bad juju?
but the thing, do you know what's so funny, bro? I can see your spirit. I can see your spirit, and I can see you ain't got a bad spirit. Do you get what I'm saying? I can see you ain't got a bad spirit. So I'm not going to use, any derogatory terms for you because I can see your spirit as a brother and I'm sure you can see mine. Yeah. But you see when you start saying that kind of thing, bro, you start, nah, it's gone. It's done. We're done.
Okay, the bad spirit, bad spiritual energy.
Bad spirit, yeah, good spirit, bad spirit, yeah.
Describe the bad spiritual energy. What word would you use?
Listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Bad. We have to continue the show, and there's other people wanting to jump in, brother. But it's been an amazing conversation.
As always.
Listen, brother, big up yourself. All right, Roxy, I see you sitting over there.
I'm looking through comments that we're not allowed to.
We're not reading any comments that aren't super chat. So if you don't want your comment read out, super chat the thing. I don't care if it's 2 pence. I don't care.
If they care enough.
To be fair, the conversation in the chat is very interesting, just so you know.
Yeah, I can see it. I can actually see it here. Do you know what I'm going to get into? I'm going to ask a question. What is the reason for racism? What do you think the reason for racism is?
This show is popping today, mate.
On to Rox.
Roxy, what do you think the reason for racism is?
That is a powerful question.
Big, yeah.
It's hard to get into that mindset even. I'd say it's been created out of fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of
being
different, he said to the word out.
Yeah, sorry.
Being different, being extinct.
Yeah.
A fear of often I've seen a couple of videos online, for example, of clear white supremacists having a conversation with a South American or Latino interviewer, and he's saying things like, "If we don't do what we do, who's going to protect us? Because they will eradicate us."
Listen, Roxy, you just segue me. I always say segue or segue. Segue me into the thing. Listen, Addoink. Yeah, can we bring up the birth death number 1, please? Right? I don't know if you have heard of the birth death, right? So the birth death, it was said, what happens when people in free countries don't have enough babies? Now, this book, was written by Ben Wattenberg, Give me the birth death too. So I'm going to give you a little bit more explanation of what the birth death is, right? So the birth death is a neologism referring to falling fertility rates. In the late 1980s, the term was used in context of American and European society. The use of the term has since been expanded to include many other industrialized nations. It is often cited as a response to overpopulation, but is not incompatible with it. The term was coined by Ben Wattenberg in his 1987 book by the same name. Countries and geographic regions that are currently experiencing falling population include Russia, Europe, Japan, and populations of people of these descendants in other countries, such as the United States. Now, the reason why I spoke about the birth death, the reason why I brought it up, I think when you get to, when you listen to people who are quote unquote white supremacists, one of the main things you hear from their mouth is these people are breeding and they're going to breed us out. And oh my God, they're going to take over, right? So that's why the birth death is relevant, because Francis Cress Welsing says that one of the major reasons for racism is the fear of genetic annihilation. The fear of genetic annihilation. When you read the manifesto by the shooter in Buffalo, he speaks about it. When you read the manifestos of these white supremacists, you realize this is what is very interesting, right? Sorry, let me just go to population control on that slide, please, Addoink, right? Because this is what I want to talk about, right? Population growth rate in Europe, 1950 to 2022, right? The population of Europe was estimated to have increased by approximately 0.4% in 2020, reaching an overall total of approximately 747 million people. Since 1950, Europe's population growth rate has never exceeded 1% and was even declining between 1996 and 1999. Right. Population growth within Europe, at certain places is at -%.
Yeah.
People of color in the world don't have a problem procreating. They don't, right? So I think one of the main reasons for quote unquote racism, and that's why I think these killings and stuff, I think it's going to get worse in my personal point of view. Because what's going to happen is more and more people that aren't white are going to quote unquote encroach upon white borders.
Yeah.
Right? Because the population of the earth is growing. And I'm going to tell this to white people who are white people watching. If there's any racists or white supremacists watching, your problem is not people of color. Your problem is the fact that you're not having enough babies. That's the problem. Their problem is they're not having enough children. And so they feel encroached upon by other peoples. And when you feel encroached upon by other peoples, you react. Listen, we're 4 of us in this house. If we felt like there was 1,000 people coming in the door, we're going to react, right? Whether they have a ill intention for us or not, we're going to react.
Right. I have a kind of strange outlook on it.
Go on.
Like, I don't think you were ever the majority numbers. And this is all due respect to our white audience. This ain't got nothing to do with hate. I don't even deal in hate day to day. It's a pointless endeavor. Like, listen, there is the Adam and Eve story. Believe it if you want to believe it. Believe how man or the origins of man, whatever story you want to believe in, But, maths. If you understand how many black people or people of color there are on this planet, honestly, like white folks, please relax. Like
white people,
relax, just relax.
White people
your numbers were never that big.
They make up 9% of the global population.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chill. That's why I want them. Like, it's almost like I want to say to our white human family, like, just get some therapy. It ain't that deep. Yeah. Most people admire you. Most people want to be you. Yeah. Most people emulate you. Yeah. There's no need to be so paranoid. And this isn't all white people, because I've got a bunch of good white people that I've grown up with, bro, like real ride or dice. Yeah. And they've never had this issue with me. We've just been friends. Yeah. But there are a lot of people sit in their little areas in, like Buckinghamshire and all these other areas, and they sit in their little areas and they don't really experience the rest of the world. So they don't really get to see that wherever you go around the world, it's going to be people of color, bro. So you need to, do you know what it is? You need to almost stop separating yourselves.
I tell you what it is.
That everywhere else is the people of color and you're like a white person. Because when you say that term, people of color, the only other group there are white people.
Yeah.
So you're almost putting pressure on yourselves, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. The majority of people in the world didn't believe in Cerberus to begin with, bro. They all had spiritual systems of nature, some type of deities, and they're female deities, male deities. It doesn't matter where you go, bro. And even when you go back to white people themselves, and you start finding out that there's the Valkyries when it comes to Thor and Odin. You got women that were deified in a certain way as warriors.
Yeah.
And this is what you lot got paranoid at one period of time. And was just like, oh my God, they're trying to get us, they're trying to exterminate. I'm saying you never had those numbers. Stop panicking. Chill, fam. It's not that deep. Like, no one's trying to get you. There's not been in history. There ain't been Chinese people that have been like, we need to hang them.
Let's
put on hoods and
take out the white people.
Take out the white people. No, everyone likes you guys.
Sure. Sorry, 1 second. Roxy, what are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Sorry, Rox.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, stop being so paranoid.
No, but it is chill.
Calm down.
It is chill though, because this is what we're talking about when Addoink brought up when was it Aiden? One of my favorite callers that calls in, yeah. Aiden brought up and he goes, "Oh, you know, but they're being racist towards Russians." I'm like, "How? That's your cousins. Relax, fam." You get what I'm saying? I don't walk to my auntie's house and be like, "Is racism in here against me, auntie?" Like, I don't get it. Like, what's going on? That don't happen, fam. It's not racism. We got family problems, and that's it. Like, that's why I say with clan, we already work out what's not allowed.
Yes.
How we're not allowed to disrespect each other.
Yeah. Sorry, Rox, go on.
Look at the other angle as well. So,
Please do.
You know, when we look at, say, for example, the beginnings of slavery.
Yeah.
This is what we've read, what we've heard is that the explorers went round and found a group of people that were strong and burly, and they were good for labor. They were good for, and there was resource in the land. So these people came and pillaged and took. It's the other side of it. Of, well, actually, we can use these people to our advantage. So I just wanted to fling that in there as well to think about, because.
I think they came for the resources first. Excuse me, and the people second. And so the European slave trade
quickly corrupted itself and became about the people.
100% because you can't get to the resources about the people. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like the Arab slave trade was first, if you want to talk about the major slave trades. That went on from 642 AD. And then the Europeans came in the 1400s, like 600-700 years after. And I think there was a sailor called Goncalves, which is from Portugal. Goncalves from Portugal, and he sailed to North Africa, and he found a quote unquote Arabs having black slaves, which they called the Moors, right? And he took some back to Portugal. This is historical. He took some back to Portugal, and the Portuguese royal family were like, "Yo, you got like 8 of these guys? Get some more, bro. Like, go get some more. Like, we can use these guys." And so, it became not so much about the resources anymore, but also about the people. So yeah, like the whole slave trade, like as I said, I keep telling people, when it comes to racism, people negate the fact that the European slave trade would not have existed without the Arab Muslim slave trade. People try to negate that, but that is a historical fact.
And fact it is, and fact I'll show you that. But this is what I say. In 2022, we have complex rebuttals, which are not even that complex when I really think about it, but people jumping in and being like, "Well, Africans sold their own, and Africans, you know what I mean?" And you know that just that statement itself makes me laugh sometimes. I said, when you say Africans, what you mean every single African was selling other Africans?
So my rebuttal to that is, first of all, indentured servitude and chattel slavery are two different things.
Yeah.
Secondly,
remember they said we were selling blacks to Europeans.
Right.
Yeah.
So there were definitely black people involved in the European and Arab slave trades.
Yep.
However, for 400 years or for 1,400 years, how much has black people been enslaved? Black people have not organized, maintained, orchestrated, or funded any slave trade. Not one. Black people have not done that. Those organizers and funders.
So what you're saying, we were just sellers. We weren't.
You were like, oh, listen. When it came to Iraq, when George Bush invaded, who did he use to get to the Taliban? Iraqis.
Yeah.
Americans didn't know where they were.
Yeah.
Who you gonna go on the ground and say, "Yo, bro, like we're trying to get to some," those people. He can't. You need to use the populace to get to the people that you want. So there are definitely African people involved in the slave trade. However, African people were not the reason for the slave trade.
You have to have a buyer, right? You have to have a buyer.
Yeah, they were not the reason for the slave trade.
And people like to go, well, you sold just your own people. And
yeah, there were definitely Africans that sold their own people.
But this is what...
No, they never. They sold the other people's.
Right. And this is what makes...
Tribes.
This is what makes me laugh with it, is that it's very strange, like... They don't seem to know history before. They don't know of a slave trade, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Before they came to us. Like, what did you know of us before that we were selling our own people? Like, we weren't coming over to your lands and saying we got blacks to sell.
What did we do last week? We told you last week there are white people in Egypt, white people in Africa saying, yo, like, damn, like, we got all of our stuff from these people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what that was the show last week.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we already know that we weren't just running around campfires going, ooh, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, but here comes the...
Do you know what I'm saying? We weren't doing that.
Yeah, but here comes the hypocrisy now, yeah? Because in that, you have so much pushback. No, now you're saying the Africans made everything. And then in the same time, yeah, people will jump to you in a liberal sense and go, but we're all the human family. So if we're all human, then it doesn't really matter who it came from first, right? Like, it came from Africa first, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So you should be proud of that, no?
Who, me?
No. I'm saying the whole human family, whether you're white, black, Chinese, you should just be proud where the human race as a whole became civilized.
I don't even have that argument anymore. I don't even have that conversation because the bottom line is to me, it's nonsensical because the bottom line is there's a first, there's a second, there's a third.
Yep.
The first is not the second is not the third, and the third is not the fourth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, we got callers.
Jump in.
We got callers. Who we got tonight?
Let's go for, all right. Kenshi, hold, and Jesse, hold, please. We're going to get to you. But I think it's Alta. Is that your name?
Alta.
Alta?
I can't even see the name.
Yeah, Otabenga.
Otabenga, can you turn your microphone down, please? And turn your camera on, please, my brother.
Sure.
Because we need to see who we're talking to. We don't want, this is a no-troll zone.
Oh, wow.
Is it good?
No.
It's not good.
You're just big sauce, my brother.
It's no good.
I don't know what kind of camera you're using.
Better?
Nope.
No.
Okay, Benga, just say your point. Turn your camera. There's something wrong with it. Just chime in.
Is it too low, too high?
Turn it down a little bit.
It's got reverb as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you very much. Uhuru to you guys. Sarah, thank you very much for all the work that you're doing for our community first. I came across your work at Speaker's Corner, and I found the work that you do really impressive, and it's good. It's good to see people, brothers and sisters, doing that kind of work.
Thank you, brother.
The question, whether racism exists in this world, or whether is it a problem? Racism does not exist. This might sound shocking. It's an ideological concept. It is made up. It's a group of people who sat down and thought to create some kind of hierarchy. And this was not done as a result of a desire to harm, but it's a mindset that can be traced all the way back to prehistoric time. If you read Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop's book, The African Origin of Civilization,
Myth or Reality?
And he has a quote in that book that I will share with you. The history of the world will be confused for as long we do not distinguish two primitive cradles where nature has shaped the instinct, the temperament, the habit, and the moral conceptions of these two fractions of humanity before they met after a long separation dating back to prehistory. End quote, Dr. Diop.
That is Dr. Diop, yeah.
Yeah. So what he's saying in short, we no longer discuss the fact that humanity started in Africa. But when he wrote his book, in 1954. That's the first book. The African Origin of Civilization is
It's a
basically a
reality, yeah.
translation of his thesis, which is titled Nation Nègre et Culture. In English, that would simply mean Negro or Black nations and culture. Now, if you listen to the title, nations, not nation, nations and culture, but culture singular. So the two fractions of humanity that he's talking about is when over 300,000 years ago, humanity appeared in Africa, a group of Africans decided to leave. And they left over 40,000 years ago. Those who left, as my brother mentioned earlier on, whether you are white, Chinese, we all come from the same humanity. There are no races. There is only one race, the human being. Those who left had to adapt to the natural condition of their environment. And this is why you see the phenotypical, or what you would call racial differentiation. They turned white. And this is in relation to the sun not being as strong as it is in Africa, for example, as opposed to Europe. So the change did not happen just on a biological, physiological level, but it also happened on a psychological level. Because life in caves, life in desert, life in an environment that is hostile forces you to psychologically adapt in order to live. So you become a competitor because there are no resources. You become a competitor.
Yes.
From that, you have no other choice than to create a social organization that is hierarchical. And that's exactly
that is taken also from a book called The Iceman Inheritance by Michael Bradley. So
exactly. Bradley wrote on that as well.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're talking about. My brother,
so
my brother, please wrap up and then we're going to get because so many people that want to call in. But go on.
Sure. Sorry about that. So just wanted to clarify in the mind of our people not to focus so much on racism because that puts you in a defensive position. It puts you in a victimization position. What we should be thinking about is getting back to our cultures because ourselves, we are lost. We are reading the world through the lenses of people who have a different history than us. So getting back to our cultures will give us the tools to deal with that issue. That's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Addoink, there was a comment that came up. The one comment that I'm actually going to read, that's not a super chat, about, because I don't really like to blow my own trumpet. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. But I will tonight, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Put that comment back up, please. It's from Black Opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you remember what you said?
Yeah, it's from Black Opinion.
Okay. All right. Just talk a little bit about it whilst I find it, because here it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, the strictest headmistress on tonight at 22:15 on ITV, and I worked on this. I did. I'm not gonna lie. It's a documentary about the strictest headmistress, Catherine Berbal Singh, and at some point we're going to try and have her on the show. To be totally honest. I did work on this show when it was being done. So if you guys tune into ITV tonight at 10:15, you will see the show, The Strictest Headmistress. And yeah, I worked on that show. So I'm just promoting that, and I'm just promoting myself at the same time because I don't just do this. I got a life. Do you know what I'm saying? I got things to do. So yeah, Addoink.
Can we just let these two callers go?
You got to roll in it.
We're going to get to them, yeah?
You got to roll.
What's this up?
It's nearly 9:30 because Roxy can just come in and take your place.
All right, let's change over now.
Yeah, because Marcus Loveless has got to go, folks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I say? We got lives out here. Yeah.
So Marcus, last words before you leave, though, just to
please,
summarize.
Brother.
Basically, to the human family, just like what I said earlier in jest, which I mean wholeheartedly, don't take historical issues into the future if it's only going to make you more paranoid, if it's only going to make you more insecure about other groups of people. Drop those things, because you will never get strength as a group behind having those type of insecurities. Yeah, but love to the family.
Yes.
Gonna let my sister take over.
That's right.
And see you next Sunday. Yeah, see you next Sunday.
Let's have your mic, brother. Bro, Marcus.
Bro,
listen, thanks, brother.
Big up man like Marcus.
Yeah, so we're kind of switching gears right now. We're switching from. Do you see the love? Do you see the love in here? Do you not see the love in here? All right. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna get Roxy in.
So just
just
reintroduce yourself.
Yeah. So the topic that we're talking about is there a racism problem? That's what we're talking about, and we've touched on the Buffalo shooting. We have touched on racism in general and what people generally tend to think about racism. But before we get to the other part of the show, when we're going to get some estrogen in here, not just testosterone. Do you know what I'm saying? We got a caller, so let's take a caller. Addoink.
Mr. Warrior, how you doing? Sorry.
Good. How you do? Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you clearly, bro.
Yes, I'm just going to talk about the white supremacy thing that we were talking about, and you were saying is racism a problem, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is very much a problem, and of all the conversation that you've had, I've watched all your videos and so forth. It is very valid, all the conversation that we have, but we tend to stray away a little bit and talk about other things. But we need to be centered and focused as Black people on white supremacy, period. That is our only problem. You touched other things and talk about the birth issue. Right here, living amongst white people in America, they are scrambling around and they have lots of fertility clinics and they have all these things that they're well invested in. They know that we can breed them out as Black people, because remember, white can only create white with white. You understand me? Black people, if they so choose to, which I prefer somebody to be with a Black partner, but you can have a Black person with any other ethnicity and still create Blackness. You understand? So, white supremacy, we need to zone on that. And as Black people, we should watch how we focus and how we speak as far as using the word people of color, brown. In the middle of the Buffalo thing you saw the other day, N-word written on his rifle. He had butt breaking from that guy, Tariq Nasheed, which you had a debate with one time. He had buck #breaking on the side of his rifle. You understand? From Tariq Nasheed's movie. So every single aspect of his white supremacist racist behavior was centered around Black people. But yet still when they make the racist news, CNN, all these white media company, they're talking about anti-Semitism. They're talking about everything and refuse to say the word Black. A lot of people are afraid
Roxy, what do you
to say
think
the
about
word
that?
Black. They have to say Black and brown.
Hang on 1 second, brother. Do you think we should focus on white supremacy? Is that that's what you said?
Yes.
And what? All right. So you two continue, because I need to use the bathroom. So you two continue. Should we just talk about white supremacy?
Just have a conversation with him, Rob.
Yeah, you two talk.
Yes.
Actually, please carry on your point, actually.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Please continue.
Please continue.
Yes. Like white supremacy is the focus. Remember, they're dominating Black people from all areas of activity: labor, law, sex, drugs, war, you name it. Everywhere you go, white supremacy is there. And we need to understand, as far as moving forward as Black people, images are very important. Even once we were a child, there was a quote from back in the day, say, show me a child of 4 or 7 and I'll show you a man. Understanding how you can shape a child's mind, and remember that the age of conditioning is from birth to like 11. Anything you instill there, you cannot, it's hard to remove it. You understand? So when it comes to your white images, white Jesus, white everything, self-hatred is a big part of some subconscious level of self-hatred is a big part of why Black people behave the way they behave. You see the cake soap and the skin bleaching in Africa and the skin bleaching in Jamaica and all parts of the Caribbean. While America, they use the skin bleach, but they've arrived and tried to, overcome these past practices of yesteryear. You understand? So you have to remove it. Buddha is skinny.
It's just me.
Some of them worship Buddha, right, in India, and some people worship Buddha in Asia, but their gods or whatever they worship represent them. Mind you, the same Buddha or Krishna or whatever they worship, but they make Buddha fat like some Asians are kind of fat, not all, but they actually make Buddha skinny to represent them in India. So why is black people the only one in the world worshiping something that don't look like them? And real quick to land the plane, our children, you guys know about the doll experiment and all of that and yada yada. With the said images, how we represent ourselves. We have to represent ourselves in a good light as black people in order others to follow. You understand? Is there any question you want to ask?
Your sound's cutting
Yo,
out a bit
my
there.
brother, your sound keeps cutting in and out, like, so we...
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it keeps coming in and out, bro. Like...
I'm sorry, I'm here in America. We're in the backwoods of my son's basketball game.
Okay.
Can you hear me clear?
All right, just land your point, and then because there's so many people that want to come in and speak now.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, basically, I'm just saying, and you get most of my point, and most of the things was factual what I said, and that's basically the point I'm wrapping up. Is that white supremacy is our main problem, and that's what we need to focus on, and nothing else. When we focus on that, then we can move on to the Africans, like you were saying, that sold black people. We need to deal with them first, and then we can deal with our people after.
Thank you very much, bro.
Interesting.
Big up yourself, bro.
Big up yourself. Do you know what? You said agreed. I don't agree.
Interesting.
Focus on white supremacy.
Nope.
Focus on the system that white people have created. Hang on. Focus on the system that white people have created. Yeah. Then come back to our own community and figure out a system.
No. Do you know why? I tell you why.
But I haven't finished though.
All right, go on. Sorry, go on, bro.
Figure out a system between us that we can thrive off. Because white supremacy is always going to be there.
So if it's always going to be there, what would be the real benefit of focusing in on it?
Because if you don't know, you don't know who your enemy is.
No, but I get the idea of actually being aware.
The system that they've created is not beneficial towards us.
But I get being aware of it. I get acknowledging that it exists, but it's the focusing on it, saying that, okay, this is what we need to address first. When really, shouldn't we be focusing our attentions on building ourselves?
Listen, we focus
building
on
our
ourselves all the time.
No. Hang on. Let me. No, hang on. I'm the host of the show. I'm gonna land this.
Okay, go on.
People in rank.
Listen, there's rank and file up in this bitch. All right. When you say, that you are supposed to focus on anything other than yourself, how in this life have you ever gotten anything without focusing first upon yourself?
But I agree with that though. I take that back. I do agree with that.
Right. So when you're focusing on something outside of yourself, you're not focusing on the thing that you, in my personal point, that you need to focus on. Now, if, for instance, if there's something out there, for instance, I always use the rain. I always try to find analogies. I use a rainforest analogy. If you're dropped in the middle of a rainforest, the rainforest exists. All of the snakes are there. All of the poisonous frogs are there. All of the poisonous plants are there. The rain's there. If you keep focusing on the rainforest saying, oh my God, this rainforest is so bad. Oh my God, the snakes are there. Oh my God, the frogs are there. And you don't focus on yourself and how you're going to navigate the rainforest,
you're going to die.
You are going to die.
You're going to die there.
So when you start saying, oh, let's focus on this, no.
But the brother makes a really good point.
Let's focus on ourselves.
I think maybe the word focus is the challenge, because the point that he's making about, look, this is the imagery that's being created by the white system is what is impacting our community. It's making it difficult for us to see beyond to the place of progress, development, whatever, because all we're seeing is these whitewashed images. Yeah. So being aware of that and then saying, okay, well, how do we avert our gaze, or how do we create images for ourselves of ourselves that will help us?
We do that.
Exactly.
Because what you're talking about, Addoink. No. But you were saying you agree.
No, but I just
but you said you agree.
Well, hang on. But I said to you just a minute ago. I said I take it back because you explained it.
Okay. So what the guy was gonna say is to focus on the white supremacy. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah. In these days and times, as black people, yeah, we are in the position to change our condition.
Yes.
The reason why we are on this YouTube is because we are here to change our condition.
Yeah.
If we sat on here saying, oh, but white supremacy, we can't do anything, while you're on the actual platform to change your condition, it doesn't make any sense. So for somebody to say, oh, focus on something other than yourself, I can't get with it.
And sorry, Sarah, can we just take this last caller here and then we can move on, yeah?
Okay, yeah, we got one more caller, yeah?
It's Jesse from he called in before.
Oh, okay, yo, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Sa Ra Garvey, greetings, Sa Ra Garvey, greetings, Roxy, and greetings to Marcus Loveless, even though he's not there, and greetings to Addoink, because I forgot to greet you before I came at the first time, so greetings to you, Addoink. My opinion, like, based off the last caller, I actually agree with Sa Ra Garvey. We don't need to focus on the white supremacy. First off, the reason why I say this is no person is superior than me, right? I don't use that word in my vocabulary. I see human beings as human beings. No one is above anyone, right?
Okay.
Mm.
We're all human beings in the end of the day, right? So I don't take that word. The reality is I'm going to introduce you to like things that I've done, right, for the community and try to explain things, right? I've done lectures at the UCL, right? I'm someone with Asperger's syndrome. I'm 30 years old. I've done lectures talking about culture at various events, also about autism and Asperger's syndrome, because I have Asperger's syndrome, right? I'm basically a savant, right? Now, the thing is I've spoken about the issues regarding the Black community, right? There's so many issues that we need to sort out first before we could focus on anything else, right? For instance, we need to fix the Black family, for instance, right? There's too many fathers out of the homes, right? I'm a product of that, and I've seen the detrimental effects that even happened to me, even though I got through it safely, right? The other thing as well is we got to understand how to build wealth, right? Regardless of what system we're in, right? There's every other culture builds wealth within each of other people's systems. That's what I've noticed, right? Not all, but there's a lot. Right. Another thing as well is we need to stop. And I'm not saying all Black men do this, but there's all this talk about the Black community. Right? The Black men and the Black women are going at each other, attacking Black women, attacking Black men. The Black community consists of the Black woman and the Black man. So we have to work together. There's no point of going against each other. Right. I see this on YouTube, Black women bashing videos and Black men bashing videos. It's not helpful. But yet these same people will talk about how they need to come together and create change. Well, if you want to create change, Black women and Black men are going to have to sort out their differences and work together, because it consists of the man and the woman, right? And this is the community of all races, not just the Black
I
race.
think that's what you're seeing now.
Right.
I actually think you're seeing that schism where there's, because you have to have like that argument before you sort things out.
Yeah.
Because you both think certain things.
Yeah.
That's what I actually think is happening between Black men and Black women.
And the other thing is
sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Jesse, please go on. No, Jesse, please continue.
Yeah, I know you haven't got much time. I just want to get through my points. The other thing now is that like, I love all races, right? I was born in a predominantly white area, and I love living around white people, right? As I love living with many other people, Black people, whatever, right? And we got to understand people's cultures, right? We've got to understand them and understand that we are different. We have differences, even though we're all technically from the human race, and understand each other, right? There's times where I've talking like people of all different cultures, like me and my friends, we have some of the most uncomfortable conversations, right? You could imaginally think of regarding culture and race and various other things in this country, because we try to understand instead of like hate, right? And we have great friendships because of it, right? Some Black people are gonna have to accept that there is gonna be some really uncomfortable conversations that you may have to speak about, not just to Black people, but people of other cultures. And the thing is, And the other thing as well is our culture. There's a lot of negativity in our culture. Like, the thing is there's certain things that we're gonna have to sacrifice, right? We may have to get rid of rap music. We may have to get rid of drill music, especially the ones that are like, let's say, are negative. We could put a new spin on rap, right? I'm not saying you could get rid of the genre. I'm not saying you could get rid of drill. Just make it more positive. I don't hear no other race talking about how we're gonna kill our own, or how we look like, right? It's always you're hearing black people killing about another black person. So I've been hearing this for years. This is why, in a way, I kind of boycotted that type of music, right? I don't want that in my psyche, right? We have to sort out our issues first before we can start changing, and that's just the reality, right? It's all great having this big giant plan, but if you can't build a foundation, have a strong structure, right? Like, I even have a theory that the black community has something called the 5 pillars of destruction, where they all complement each other, and the black community basically implodes. Right? It's a very, it basically explodes, right? And I've actually spoken about it to educational psychologists at the UCL, right?
But do you know that? Sorry to cut you, just. You know those 5 pillars that you're talking about, and the thing is, I don't even know what they are. But when you said it made me think about something. And I think a lot of the black community, quote unquote, are suffering from bipolar schizophrenia. And that's my own personal view. Because we actually say some things are cool, like, for instance, rapping about killing other people, killing ourselves. And then when someone else kills us, we get crazily upset. Do you know what I'm saying? Or another black boy dies and we're like, oh my God, pray for so-and-so. And then we go and listen to drill music. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, that's a little bit schizophrenic bipolar. I'm not going to lie to you. But Jesse, listen, there's other people looking to come in as well, brother. There's some other, but thank you for your contribution, bro.
You're welcome.
I really do appreciate it. Please call in again next time we're on. All right?
Sorry, Jesse. Jesse, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you.
Rox, what do you think of that?
I'm so sorry.
I think in the community we do have to take responsibility for our craft and our art and how we express ourselves. But then at the same time, as consumers, we have choices. I think there are people out there, like, I'm not gonna lie, Biggie fan, happy 50th birthday.
Who? Biggie Smalls?
Yeah.
Oh, he would have been 50 today?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. He's misogynistic. He's destructive.
Biggie was misogynistic?
I mean...
He's destructive.
All he did was rap about...
bitches and...
Yeah, I mean... Money. You know, but ultimately, that doesn't mean...
like that stuff,
Little Kim spitting her verse as well. That doesn't mean I'm going to listen to that and go, right, okay, I'm going to go find a dude and open my legs and get money. And it doesn't mean that life has to imitate art in that way. You know, I think, I don't know, that's a mixed one for me. I'm not sure about that.
Sorry, listen, hang on, wait, before you get going. Yeah. Folks, we are giving you such good content today. Yeah? We're giving you amazing content today. Yeah? And like I said before, I'm going to say it again. If you want 2 cameras, 3 camera, 4 camera setup, if you want more mics, if you want even more people on the show, you're gonna have to come out your pockets. You're gonna have to donate. You're gonna have to let us know exactly how invested you are in what we're doing, because right now we're self-funded and we are coming out the bum for this type of content. Yeah. Okay. So we are only reading out super chat comments from here on in. So all you guys have been, commenting, and we appreciate you. As many people that are in, we appreciate you.
The conversation's really good.
Yeah, the conversation's really good, but we're only going to read out super chats because if you guys really want your questions asked or you want your statements read, just donate 5p if you want. I don't care. But just donate something because, just appreciate the fact that you guys pay your Netflix subscription, every month for your $9.99, and you're getting better stuff today, or weekly from us.
We're not reading out comments, as you just said, but someone's asked a really good question. How do people donate?
It's right there in the super chat. It's right there, the super chat button, the S button, or running along the screen right now is a Black Opinion PayPal. You can pay by PayPal. Addoink, do you have the Cash App also there? You haven't got the Cash App, that's fine. But you can click the super chat button, which is the $sign right down in the live chat, or you can pay via PayPal. You know. So yeah, we are going to continue on.
Take one last. This
We got one caller before we leave.
Yeah,
before we go,
we got 10 minutes left.
We got
He's been trying to get on since last week.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, my bro. Let's get him in. Yo, how you doing, my brother?
Kenshi.
Yo, what's good? What's going on, Sarah?
Hi.
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
It's Roxy.
I'm good.
Hi.
Yes.
This
is the perfect one. This is the perfect segue because my mom was talking about music before, and I'm an actual musician. I make beats. So yeah. Now we're gonna get into the drill argument, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. So I say where that's concerned, yo. I feel because people always say that drill is to blame, yeah. But I feel like what we gotta do. I always never used to understand it because I say it's literally just everyone is responsible for actions, and it's just entertainment. But you see, when I went on my spiritual journey, I started to understand these things a little bit more. But then I went deep into it and I figured out that it's like, the music that we make is the reflection of our reality overall, right? And I feel like maybe that's the problem, is that the music we make is usually of our reality, and even people who don't participate in a certain reality like to adapt other people's reality into their own story. So no matter where you go, you're always getting violence, stabbing, shooting, even if you grew up in Beverly Hills or some shit like that. So I'd say maybe we should stop making about what our reality is and what we want, and instead make about what we want it to be.
Sure.
Kanye West said we need to stop talking about slavery and start talking about our future.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like what gets spoken about a lot is where we came from, not where we're going or where we want to go.
And you're going to.
So what the young brother just said right there, bro, is actually like Kanye West said that, and Kanye West, in my personal point of view, is a genius. So you're on the right track, brother. Like you're on the right track. I will say that. So yeah, I think that we should start talking about our future.
Yeah. Agreed.
And the future that we want.
The future that we want.
Yeah.
As Kenshi said.
Because remember, words have power.
Right.
You manifest those.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're talking, I'm going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want a bright future, you're going to have a bright future. So let's speak words of purpose. So
but big
up Kenshi.
I think one of the challenges that if artists do want to start going in that direction, I would encourage it. I sound a bit contradictory there because I like Biggie, but I would encourage a bit more positivity in our music.
You're an old soul.
I know. I would encourage a bit of positivity in our music, but the question is that obviously the way the industry is built, will those records sell? Are people interested in the Will Smith style of rap?
No, it's not Will Smith. And the reason why I think they'd sell now is because things can only sell if the consciousness of the people shift.
Right.
And I kind of feel like there's a shift in consciousness going on right about now. People are less, they're less trusting of the government. They're less trusting of Big Pharma. They're less trusting of all other, big corporations. People are becoming more like, you know what? We need something different. I think the people that touch on, I think people that put their hand on the pulse of what people want for their future are the people that are going to sell. But sometimes someone has to be the first one.
Someone has to take the step.
Someone has to be the first one. Do you get what I'm saying? And not necessarily the first one's going to be the great one. There might be the fifth one that's going to be like, and then he'll hark back and say, you know what, I got my inspiration from the first one.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? But someone has to do it, I believe.
Can we just do some?
Let's just read the last two super chats out now.
Last three, yeah.
Is it last three, yeah?
Yeah.
Hang on. Have you got the same one that I've got, Addoink? Have you got...
I've got Review China USA.
Hang on.
Shola. And
okay, so before Shola, there was another one, yeah?
Yeah. Review China USA.
I don't have that. Do you feel when white people march at black protests, they are hijacking the movement? £5 super chat. you feel like white people?
Interesting question.
Very, very.
Do you feel like white people are hijacking the movement?
Hijacking. Like completely taking it over.
I don't feel like they're taking over.
No.
They just jump on it and turn it into something else. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like when black people are going through certain things, the LGBTQ
plus
community, yeah.
1, 2, 3,
yeah,
X, Y, Z.
And it doesn't become about the black experience, it becomes about everyone's going through it. Like when we're talking about, listen, we're getting affected here, but then they come in and it waters down and it turns into something else. So then we don't get heard properly.
For example, Black Lives Matter, but
yeah.
But then you see another person would argue that the allyship is what's helping get the voice, the awareness out there.
For who?
For
us or for just everybody?
For the communities represented, for the people that are at the march,
question now
white people, black people. So I guess it is spanning a little bit further out of the black community in
That's
that
what
sense.
I'm saying. And then,
yes.
That's what I'm saying. This is how our voice and our experience and what we go through gets watered down, because they come in and then it turns into something else.
Do they water it down if they echo what we're saying?
But it doesn't.
Or is it that because they're white, they can't echo what we're saying?
No, but it doesn't echo what we're saying. It turns into everyone's going through it. Black people are saying, listen, we're getting shot every day. But then they come in and it's like, well, everybody gets shot though. That's what it turns into. So then our voice goes over here and then everyone else gets benefits.
But everyone does get shot every day though.
I know, but we're not talking...
People get shot every day, B.
I know, but we're not saying that people getting shot every day is not a problem. But we're talking about this problem today.
Yes.
But then to say that, who shoots more people each day, black people or white people?
Well, the statistics will tell you that black people do.
Well, this is where now we're talking about
do you know what I'm saying?
Homework. We got a lot of homework to do within our
Listen,
community.
we got a lot of stuff to do before we start crying about, like I said, let's focus on white supremacy. No. We need to start focus on ourselves first. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next super chat.
Super chat, please.
It says, Shola says, great content. Listen, thank you very much, Shola. We tried to bring you great content. And then last one, last one is from Lantern, £5 super chat. I don't agree with everything you say. We've clashed a few times, but I support independent black voices.
Nice
Big
one.
up, Lanson.
Nice.
Lanson, that is the reason why I do this. Because I am able to clash with someone, not agree with somebody, but still respect them. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is the reason why I can sit down with people like Thomas Robinson, which is why I can sit down with people like Sargon of Akkad, or Armin Navabi, or Lee Jasper, or whoever it is that I sit down and speak with. And a lot of people didn't get it. A lot of people are like, oh, you can't sit down with it. Listen, I don't have to agree with somebody, but if I can respect somebody enough to have the conversation, then that's what it is. But folks, listen, Roxy, thank you very much for joining us today.
Big up, Roxy.
Yay.
Listen,
I made it to the front.
You made it to the... Yeah, you were in the back before.
I'm in the back.
Now you made it to the front. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great show. We've enjoyed you. Thank you for the conversations that have gone on in the chat. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed to this channel, you better do it now. Tell your auntie, tell your mum, tell your cousin, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell everybody, okay, to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all the people that actually donated today. Thank you to Addoink behind the camera. And we shall see you next time. Peace, family.